happy to have Leah here at Central today, and we're pleased that she's going to tell us about some of the students that the church has sponsored and how they're doing and upcoming events in her own life. So Leah, we'll be happy to have you join us up here.
Thank you so much.
And you just say whatever you want to say.
Thank you. I'll try to use this. I hope I'm audible enough. Okay. So as I set up my laptop, I'm going to invite Mary Z to say something.
Of course it did turn on. Operator error. No, no, hang on.
All right, this will be real quick. I asked if you could brief and speak to you briefly, very briefly. Things I'd like you to share. You need a microphone. I mentioned this.
Here, where is he?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I have a voice that projects, but this will do it better. I want to take time to thank you for your support through the scholarship fund for high school girls in Mojito. That project that we share through the Reconciling Ministry, your part, and the Missions Council. And I want you to know that an annual conference was just finished this last weekend. We had a display booth at annual conference. And the reason for being there under a wonderful canopy that we got from Central was to educate people and invite people into an ever-growing inclusiveness in the United Methodist congregations. Now, our special feature was fundraising for the scholarship fund. And so we had a nice display, and Maggie Charlton of this class had made 30 stoles, bright multicolored stoles that were about chest long. And for a donation of $10 or more, persons could choose a stole. We had a few other things that they could buy for $1, and we had some freebies, stickers. We had phenomenal success beyond what we imagined. And I want you to know that we raised almost half of one scholarship, $500 came in. We were beyond surprised of what happened there. And I want to thank John and Hugh for coming to help us take down that canopy. This was something Marcia and I didn't have the strength to do, either put it up or take it down. And Patrick came along and they got it down in no time. So thanks to those gentlemen who came along too. And the last thing I want to mention, for those of you who don't take the New York Times, or you missed the Science Times of the New York Times, on June the 14th was a 2-page coverage called Resisting Genital Cuttings. And that is exactly the topic that is part of what Leah spoke about to you last time, and will touch on the scholarship program. So she made a comment to Marcia and me this morning about cuttings that happen right here in the United States. If you're not aware, I think we need to be aware. Thank you, Leah, and take it.
Probably we can try to turn the lights off a bit. Can we turn the lights, the front lights? So I'm trying, this is just a word, but I thought of sharing with you like how we did with our fundraising for last academic year and how we are doing for this academic year, so that you can also get updated on. So I must say that I'm so grateful because after coming and sharing with you last year, we managed to raise a total of $11,740 US dollars. And this was from both the Reconciling Ministry Group, from the Mission Council Committee, and from here, the Inquirers class. So I just thought of sharing with you. So we had a total of 11,750. And after sitting down as a committee, we spent 10,850. Then we had extra $900 that was carried forward to this academic year. So this report is for the last year's report, 2021. And so last year we supported 8 girls and 2 boys. And these were Bilkins, Violet, Mary, Christine, and then we had Marceline, and then we had Diana, and then we had Halima, Chacha, and then we had Aidan, and then we had Johannes and Stanley were among the boys that were supported in last year. So for this year's academic, so for this year, I'm trying to make it wider. Let me see that. Or should I add more? That one? Yes. Okay. So for this, so this year's academic year started in first term started in 25th of April to 1st of July, and then the students came back. No, it's June, not July. This one was June. And then they came back home and then went back to, and then starting their second, and then now they're still into their first term, and they should be coming back home soon. And then they will go back on 11th of July for their second term. So they're still right now in their first term. So we had our calendar mixed up a little bit because of the effect of COVID. So when schools opened and students went back, we had our calendar mixed up a little bit. And so, so they will go back and then, did I confuse the dates? Okay, that's so interesting. Yes, so they're still in school. So we are expecting them to actually come back next week. And then they will go back on 11th of July for their second term that will end in September 16th, and then come back and go back on 26th September until 25th of November. Now, next year, our calendar will go back to normal and the term will start in January. So for this year, we have managed to raise, so we had from Mission Council, 5,450. And then we had 3,375 from both the Reconciling Ministry and the Inquirers Sunday School class. And then we had an individual donation from Mary Beth and Tena and the husband for 1,085. And so that gives us a total of 9,910. So for 9 girls. And then remember, I told you last year we had an extra of 900. So we carried forward to this year. And so we have 1 more girl being supported. So meaning that this year we have 10 girls that are being supported. Can we just, thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. And so, so this one is just, I can share this report and you can all have access to it. So these are the names of the girls and their year of study and how many years they're remaining with to finish school. So for example, Bilkins is in Form 2 and she still have 2 years more to go. And then we have Violet who is in Form 3 and 1 year to go. So this report will be available to you. So the 2 girls, the extra girls that we have been able to support for this year is Josephine Kwamboka and Nema Maria China. So those are Those are the 2 extra girls that we have been able to support. And then, so if anyone has a question, please just ask me and I'll respond to that if you want to know more extra about the funding, the location, and the girls. And then now I'm going to share, let me put it present mode so that it can. Yes. There we go. Okay. So, yes.
The sign is in English. Do they speak English?
Yes. So it's so it's interesting that Kenya was colonized by British. Kenya was colonized by British. Yes. So because Kenya was colonized by British, the language, instruction and expression language is English. So English is one of the national languages, but because we have 45 tribes speaking different tribes, and not everyone has gone to school to learn English, so we have Swahili as our second national language. So in school, the instruction language is English and Swahili. So that's why you see it is in English. So
Is commerce and government in English and Swahili?
So it's both English and Swahili. But we can say, so when we are having like 2 national language, there is the superior language and there is the second language. So the most commonly used is English, and then Swahili becomes the second one. Yes.
What language do you use when you worship?
So it depends with the environment where we are in. But when we worship, we use Swahili. Why? Because we have different tribes in our communities. So like in our church, we have the Luo, we have Kuria, and we have the Sabot. So because of the different native languages, we can't use one of the language. We have to use a common language, which is Swahili. So we use Swahili in worshiping.
So the 5 languages, are they very different languages or are they similar?
There are 45 and they are very different. Yes, they speak different language. You won't hear one another. We have different way of life. We have different common activities. And so it varies, but sometimes the cultural practices sometimes are the same. Yes, and that speaks like not every community in Kenya practices female genital mutilation. Not every community in Kenya. There are those communities that they have almost 100% rate. And there is community like Kikuyu have like 1%. So it differs across these different communities. So these are just some of the pictures of our girls. So you can see in between here is Bilkins. Like I just wanted to share the transformation and the joy that our support has been able, and the smiles that our support brings to the fellow girls in Kenya. So like Bilkins, you can see one of the picture where she comes from, her homestead, her environment, how it is. And when she's just so happy when she's going to school. So Bilkins attends St. Mary's. And then we have Halima. You can just see from one side, her home, where she comes from, and when she's at school. So it gives you just like a different environment on how we are able to give the girls a chance to just transform and learn and have a better life. And then we have Christine with her mom and the little children and the other children. And then here when she's at school at Kubwe Secondary School. So we try to visit each and every girls in their schools and see how they're doing and get to know exactly how the situation is. And then this is just a picture of some of the girls. I couldn't add like most of the pictures, because my slides were getting like too large and too large, I couldn't attach it to the email. So yeah, but some of these pictures are available. We can share and you can see. And but I wanted to share okay. And then so we had a Zoom meeting with the students, and some of you that were able to attend. Yes, these are a screenshot from our Zoom meeting that we had, and just hearing from the students how they're doing. So when they come back from school, they only have like 10 days of break. So we are not sure if you're going to be able to organize for another meeting within those 10 days, because sometimes they come back with a lot of assignments to do. So we'll see if possible. If not possible, then our next meeting will be after November when they come back from school. And so, yeah, this was just our Zoom meeting. And thank you so much for those that were available to just hear and listen from. So we work with as young as 4 years. You know why? Because circumcision happens to as young as 3 to 1 years. But for those that are going to school, mostly are between the age of 10 to high school to 25. Yes. And then we have young adult women that are not going to high school, but we are just teaching them some of the technical skills like tailoring, catering, cosmetic and beauty, for them to be able to start up small businesses for themselves. So I'm going to play a video for you that will kind of summarize whatever I've talked about today. And let's see. And then I think where's the sound?
Good question. Should be on your computer.
Should be on my computer. Okay, let's see. I have to change the sound settings. I might need help with that. Let's see. No, it's just, it's a PC. Mm-hmm.
While they're working on that, I want to invite you to participate when we have the quarterly meetings on Zoom with the Mojito folks. And trying to let some of you know, so that if you want to be in on the Zoom, you can do that. We don't have the opportunity to meet with the students every time we have a
Yes.
meeting. But we get to speak to the pastor.
No, I don't know. Can we try and see if it's okay? Okay, is it? Oh yeah, it's the, yes, it's an episode. Okay. Okay.
Six of your members, I believe, were in that Zoom meeting that you just saw up there. I'm very proud of that. All 6 of you were in this group. So I'll try to let you know if there's another Zoom meeting. It's going to be July the 16th.
Okay. Are you done, Mzee? Are you done? Let's. I do anything wrong? Ah. Okay. Sorry for that. Oh. I'm trying to put the mic so that
initiating Wema Health Foundation is inspired by my own life experience. I'm a fourth born in a family of 7, and we were raised in a village, a small village called Muberi in Busia. So growing up as a child and seeing the kind of the situation that we still live in the community, and growing up seeing my 2 elder sisters not being able to go to school. And when it was time for me to go to high school, just seeing how it's much easier for the community to think of a boy to go to school than a girl. It really made me question so much on how the community still and continue to support our education. So I took myself to high school when it came time for me to go to high school. And when I took myself to high school, I went to St. Justino High School in Soweto, Carolina. I remember that day I always tell my friends and some of the people that going to school, they wanted me to pay like for interview, the interview fee, and it was only 300 shillings, which is equivalent to like $3. And trust you me, at that point it was even so hard for a parent to raise that 300 Kenyan shillings to give you to go for interview. Wewe kama msichana ungependa kuona msichana mwenzako anaishi maisha gani?
Maisha ya kupendeza, yenye anafurahisha wazazi wake.
This is your life. It's about your future. And so saa zingine usiseme tu ati maisha ya kupendeza nini. Ndio tunafaa tuishi maisha ambayo inapendeza wazazi na inapendeza jamii. Lakini saa zingine kujitetea sisi kama wasichana huenda isifanye nini? Isipendeze jamii. Unaona? Lakini kwa sababu this is our life, this is our future, and we want to protect each and every guy, sometimes we say no, whatever that is happening.
When I received the beneficiary to be one of the students who are going to be sponsored, I was happy
about that. Oh, what happened?
Had my own in a family of 7. So growing up as 2 elder sisters, not being able, it is how the community still and continue to support our education. So I took myself to high school when it came time for me to go to high school. And when I took myself to high school, I went to and some of the people that they wanted me to pay like for interview, the interview fee, and it was only 300 shillings, which is equivalent to like $3. And trust you me, at that point it was even so hard for a parent to raise that 300 Kenyan shillings to give you to go for interview. Wewe kama msichana ungependa kuona msichana mwenzako anaishi maisha gani?
maisha ya kupendeza, yenye anafurahisha wazazi wake.
This is your life, it's about your future. And so saa zingine usiseme tu ati maisha ya kupendeza nini. Ndio tunafaa tuishi maisha ambayo inapendeza wazazi na inapendeza jamii. Lakini saa zingine kujitetea sisi kama wasichana huenda isifanye nini? Isipendeze jamii. Unaona? Lakini kwa sababu this is our life, this is our future and we want to protect each and every girl, sometimes we say no, whatever that is happening.
When I received the beneficiary to be one of the students who are going to be sponsored, I was happy because I knew that through it I'm going to achieve my dreams in future and be whom I want to be. I want to be a doctor. This is because I would like to care about the life of others. After receiving the information that Wema supporting, I was happy because I was now going to school. They'll be supporting. I knew they were going to support me, going to school, working hard so that I can become somebody in future. Shida yangu ni hiyo tu, kudharauliwa kwa nini maskini. Kwa jamii wanawadharau, wanawaona itamfai. Nilifeel kulia, yaani hadi mama alianza tu kulia mwenyewe. Badala ya mimi kulia, mama akaanza kulia. Watu ambao wamenisaidia, ningependa kusema asante na waendelee tu na huo moyo kutusaidia.
Kabla Wema, wazazi wangu walikuwa sometimes hawana fee. Nikitumwa fee home, nakuja napata hakuna fee, inabidi nakaa home for almost 2 weeks, narudi shule. Since nianze kusapotiwa, nilihisi poa, nilihisi vizuri sana. Hadi wazazi wangu walifurahi kuwa nimeenda shule.
My parents walikufaga nikiwa class 3. Wote nikachukuliwaga na aunti yangu anaishi Maabera. Ndiye alikuwaga ananilipia since primary hadi form 2 term 3. Ndio akasemaga ataweza kutulipia juu hadi ana mtoto mwenye ako high school. Ndio akasema mimi nikiniolewa. Wakati nimekuja hapo nikaambiwa nitapata support ya kulipiwa, nilifeel vizuri, nikajua nita achieve my goals. I want to be a nurse.
Sometimes you lack shopping and you're just like, surely how will you help yourself with no even a piece of soap? Yes, you are like, you have to be clean all the time. It becomes so hard for you to survive in such situation. The support from Wema has made me go to high school so that I can meet my dream and in future at least have a good future and at least help my family members.
Wema Health Foundation, or supporting girls in education and health, is like my lifetime ministry. So what I do is I partner or I reach out to churches or individuals who will be willing to support us. And so the scholarship for the girls, and we also have boys, not only girls, but we also have boys. We have friends from the Central United Methodist Church in North Carolina in Asheville. So that the one that are supporting our at least 10 girls right now who are in their high school. We also have 2 girls who are in college that are doing, one is doing, I think, social work, and the other one is doing agribusiness. But I really appreciate, I'm grateful for the friends, the people that are outside there supporting us, because Wema Health Foundation, we're just like a baby still learning, not even crawling, like a baby that is still being nursed, breastfed, and there is so much work to do, and we still need support, especially for the girls. Now, for example, the girls that we are funding right now, some of them we realize that in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4. Now, when we take a girl to Form 1, we really need to have assurance that we are able to support this girl to go all the way to Form 4. Now, when we are talking about sanitary towels, sometimes we only get support for 1 month, but you know, with our periods, it's not something that you will postpone and say, oh, this month I have sanitary towels, next month I don't have sanitary towels, please don't come. You know, that is the challenges that we get, and sustainability of the services, of the things that we really need, items that we really need is really needed. And that is a challenge when it comes to especially just a foundation that we are starting from the scratch, that we really don't have enough resources and funds. But I'm so grateful for each and every friend, each and every church, for their prayers, for their support that they're giving us each and every day.
Thank you. I wanted you to hear the for them when they're here. So we are setting up a learning center, and it's called Spell My Name. You might wonder, why is it Spell My Name? Because some of the stories that we have shared is that from home, our parents don't even know how to spell the names of their children, leave alone even correctly writing their own names. Do you know why? Because some of them never went to school. Someone just was born and said, hey, you are called Brenda. And she knows she's Brenda. And she grew up saying, my name is Brenda. But then, trust me, have you ever gone to a workshop and then you have a registration form, You know, you put at the door, and inside you see like you have more than 50 people, but when you look at your registration, you only have 3 names written. You ask yourself, what happened? It's because some of them don't even know how to write their names, because they never had a chance to go to school. And so this space that we thought of creating is not only a space to help our girls when they come back, to have a space to continue learning, but to also give our parents, our grandparents, just a chance to go in and even just learn how to write their names. Just learn how to communicate. I remember my mom never had a bank account. You know why? Because every time she kept on forgetting her name, to spell correctly her name. So that one, she couldn't even write a signature. And because of that, which bank would even be able to give you a loan if you can't even write your own name or have a signature? And so it becomes a disempowering issue. So to us, we feel like it's an empowering. We want to change that culture so that they have that space where they can just step in and learn. So we are setting up a library, and I'm so grateful that Marsha and some of the friends created a link for fundraising for this library. And so we received some funds, and right now yesterday we just bought a ton of books that we wanted. And then now we are working on setting up the shelves and the seats where they can come, and hoping that we have laptops where they can just come and be able to learn even some easy, basic technical issues. So we received some of especially our young women who are between above 25 years who have never gone to school. And so we don't take them to school because someone had like 4 children already. She will be like, look, I have 4 children to take care of. Instead of me going to school, let my children go to school. So in such a case, they're able to learn how to sew. Like we teach them how to sew the way I taught myself how to sew, or hairdressing, or any other skill, catering, baking, that can earn them an income. So this space is there to help those that are not able to go to school to have a space to learn. And when our girls come back from school, they have a space to continue learning. Yes.
So I would say, what you're saying is the emphasis really on the college, or more just trying to get people who won't be going to school like you're talking about? Is there more emphasis on the skill building,
So the way our education system is structured, for one to be like, if you need to get an employment, let's say civil work, you have to go to university or college. High school, Form 4, we call them Form 4 leavers, high school dropouts. Even if you finished high school, you can't get employed. Even as a teacher or someone, you can't get employed in Kenya. You only get employed if you have a university or a college certificate. Now, for those who only went to high school, now we take them to the technical institutes. Now where they get to learn the skills, carpentry, baking, cooking, tailoring. Now those are the skills that those who have not gone to college or university get to learn in the technical schools, the vocational schools. We call them the vocational schools, yes. Any other question? So yes. Yes, yeah. So the government, our higher education ministry sets a pass mark. So for a student who is in his or her final year, they set a pass mark. So if you have to go to public university, we have what we call government-sponsored students, and we have self-sponsored students. If you want to become a government-sponsored student, you need to attain the pass mark that has been set by the government. And sometimes it's always like from a mean grade of B to A. So those who score below a mean grade of B, they are not government-sponsored. What that means is that their fee is different. Now, a government-sponsored student pays, like, for me, I paid my fee per year was around $700 US, like 70,000 in university, 70,000 Kenyan shillings, $700 US. Now, because I was a government-sponsored student, because I got a mean grade of A-. Now, those that below B, the self-sponsored, they pay 3 times. Yes, you pay 3 times. And that is where now our education system cuts off many students, because not every student has the capacity. You know, our fingers are not the same, right? Not every student gets that government pass mark. So if you don't get a government pass mark, you become a self-sponsored. And self-sponsored is so expensive to go to your university in Kenya. And then you don't get the loan from the government, because for me, I got a loan from the government to go to university. You don't get the loan from the government. Yes.
So the follow-up is that someone doesn't get that grade. That's the way it is in Europe also very often. So will they then be able to get the government to sponsor them to go to a technical school?
No, you will take yourself to a technical school. Yes. The government only deals with its public, its public universities, and once it sets its pass mark, that is it. Yes. Yeah. So we have most of the technical schools are privately owned. Yes, most of the technical institutes are privately owned, and that's where they get enrolled into. Yeah.
So the privately owned things would be a self-pay, what we call a self-pay.
Yes. Yes.
Talk about the impact of this program on these young girls. One girl said that without the funding for these undergraduate type courses, she would perhaps have needed to be married as a very young woman. So what is the impact of your experience with this program on the lives of women?
So one thing that our cultural practices like female genital mutilation does is it ushers girls into adulthood. So once a girl is circumcised between the age of 6 and 10, now the community sees her as ready to get married. And so the parents and the community start arranging for her marriage. You had one of the girls saying she was told to get married. Now that is always the option for them, because if they can't go, if no one is there to take them to school, then they're not going to go to school. Imagine a father who is struggling and has only 3 cows at home, and he knows that if he marries you off, if you are circumcised, the larger the number, the higher the bride price. Knowing that if you marry you off, you'll get 13, 15, 20 cows. Why should he sell the 3 cows to take you to school? He will marry you off so that he gets more cows at home, right? So that is the trend, the business that always happens. And so you realize that mostly after they have been circumcised, there is a man somewhere being prepared for them to get married. Now remember, she's not getting married to a 12-year-old boy, a 20-year-old boy. No, she's getting married to 40 plus, 50 plus year man as either a second, third, fourth, or fifth, even 10th wife. And so that really affects their development in life. Now, the gap that we bridge is because we now come in between that. One is to protect them from the circumcision. And then 2, for those who have been circumcised and at the verge of being married off, we have to protect them from that by taking them back to school. So when they go back to school, then they're able to become someone like Leah in their lives. Yes. And so that is how now we step in. Personally, I ran away from a marriage in 2006. Guess how old I was? In 2006, I ran away from marriage after 2 months. And I was like, nope. I don't think I can do this. I need to go back to school. And so I know the path that we go through. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hate to cut you off.
Okay,
We
sorry.
are out of time.
Thank you so much.